The 1970s did not just give us songs. It gave us radio explosions, dance floor anthems, strange masterpieces, and summer hits nobody could escape. Today, we are counting down 10 songs only real baby boomers still remember. And we start with a song that should have never worked at all. Let's kick things off with the song that made executives nervous. By the time Queen finished Bohemian Rhapsody in 1975, they had created something radio was not supposed to play. Written entirely by Freddie Mercury, it climbed to number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 in America. But in the United Kingdom, it shot to number 1 and stayed there for 9 weeks. Here is something you probably did not know. The song is over 6 minutes long, has no chorus, and jumps between opera and hard rock. EMI wanted it shortened. Queen refused. The band spent weeks recording it, stacking vocal parts until the operatic section sounded enormous. Bohemian Rhapsody proved that great music does not have to follow the rules. If you are enjoying this so far, hit that like button and subscribe. And after that impossible Queen experiment, the next song became a worldwide craze for a much stranger reason. Now here is a song that should have been a throwaway, and somehow became a global craze. Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas hit in 1974 and went all the way to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song was written by Douglas and produced by Bidoo, but it was not treated like the main event at first. It was rushed as the B-side to another track, I Want to Give You My Everything. They had only minutes of studio time left, so Kung Fu Fighting was cut fast, loose, and nobody expected it to matter. That is what made it work. The martial arts craze was everywhere, the hook was silly, and the energy was impossible to ignore. Carl Douglas became a one-hit wonder, but the song sold millions and never disappeared. Comment if it is the greatest accidental hit of the 70s. After that playful chaos, the next song takes us into a hotel that feels beautiful, strange, and impossible to escape. Let's step into something that feels like a fever dream you cannot wake up from. Hotel California began as a Don Felder demo before the Eagles turned it into the title track of their 1976 album. When it became a single in 1977, it climbed to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Written by Don Felder, Don Henley, and Glenn Frey, the song became famous because nobody fully owns its meaning. Some heard Satanism, some heard addiction, some heard the industry eating itself alive. Henley called it the dark side of the American dream. The final guitar duel by Felder and Joe Walsh became one of rock's most famous finales. It sounds like two guitars trapped in the same old nightmare. Hotel California is not just a song. It is a place you enter and never quite leave. Comment if this is the greatest guitar solo in rock history. After that dark hotel, the next song walks in like a goddess. Here is a song that crossed an ocean and conquered America without asking permission. Venus began with Shocking Blue, a Dutch band led by guitarist Robbie Van Leeuwen and the unforgettable voice of Mariska Veres. Released in 1969, it reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1970. Proving a band from the Netherlands could sound huge on American radio. Here's the wild part. Mariska was not fluent in English, and one mistaken lyric stayed on the record. Nobody cared. Her voice was deep, hypnotic, and impossible to ignore. The song sounded old and modern, like a goddess walking through a rock club. Shocking Blue never matched that moment again, but Venus refused to die. Bananarama took it to #1 in 1986, giving the same song a second life. Smash that like button if this one still hits. And after that storm, the next song puts on face paint, turns the volume up, and turns a simple chorus into a stadium ritual. Now here is a song that turned a simple chorus into a stadium ritual. Rock and Roll All Night became Kiss's signature anthem in 1975. But it did not explode right away. The studio single only reached 68 on the Billboard Hot 100. That sounds low, but the real story came with Alive. The live version hit harder, reached the top 20, and captured what Kiss was on stage. Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons wrote it after Neil Bogart pushed the band to create an anthem a crowd could scream back. The words were almost too simple, but that was the point. It did not need poetry. It needed makeup, lights, noise, and voices shouting. Critics could laugh at Kiss all they wanted. This song did not need critics. It needed a crowd. Comment if you ever screamed this chorus live. After that painted anthem, the next song trades fire and face paint for a groove so warm it feels like sunlight. Now we arrive at a song so joyful it feels like sunlight through the speakers. Come and Get Your Love came from Redbone's 1973 album Wavoka, then climbed to #5 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1974. The band was led by brothers Pat and Lolly Vegas, and Redbone became the first Native American band to reach the top 5 in America. That alone makes the song historic. But what makes it last is the feeling. The riff is simple, the groove is warm, and the chorus sounds like someone opening a door and inviting the world in. Come and Get Your Love was first known as Hail before finding the name everyone remembers. Decades later, Guardians of the Galaxy gave it a second life for a new generation. It is proof that joy can survive anything. Drop a comment if this is the most feel-good song of the decade. After that warm groove, the next song climbs a staircase into rock legend forever. Here is a song that became legendary without ever needing a single. Stairway to Heaven appeared on Led Zeppelin 4 in 1971 and became one of the most requested songs in FM radio history. Written by Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, it starts like a whisper and ends like the sky cracking open. Page built the music from a gentle acoustic opening into a massive electric climb. Plant wrote much of the lyric at Headley Grange, and later said the words seem to arrive almost by themselves. That is what gives the song its strange power. It feels planned and mysterious at the same time. Radio stations played all 8 minutes because listeners stayed. No short version, no video, no easy hook, just a slow climb into rock history. If this song still gives you chills, hit that like button. And after that sacred stairway, the next song kicks the door down with a chant older than rock itself. Now we step into something older than rock and roll, but reborn like a runaway train. Black Betty by Ram Jam hit in 1977 and climbed to #18 on the Billboard Hot 100. Long before that, it lived as an African-American work song, recorded in prison sessions and later carried by Leadbelly. Ram Jam did not invent it, they electrified it. Bill Bartlett had cut a rock version with Starstruck, and producers built Ram Jam around that sound. The result was raw, like a folk ghost plugged into a wall of amps. The meaning of Black Betty has been argued for years. Some heard a woman. Some heard a bottle. Some heard a prison wagon or whip. That mystery only made it stronger. It is not just a cover. It is a song history refused to bury. Comment if this is the greatest folk song ever turned into rock. After that runaway chant, the next song turned survival into a disco heartbeat. Get ready for some music history. Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees became the heartbeat of Saturday Night Fever in 1977, then shot to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Written by Barry, Robin, and Maurice Gibb, it turned survival into something you could dance to. But here's the wild part. The Bee Gees were not trying to become the face of disco at first. They had spent years as a pop group. Then Miami pushed them into a sharper, funkier sound. That famous rhythm was built with a drum loop from another session, giving the track that unstoppable pulse. Barry's falsetto made it sound urgent, like a man smiling while trying not to fall apart. Saturday Night Fever turned the song into a worldwide symbol. Then disco backlash hit, and the Bee Gees took blame. But Stayin' Alive outlived it. After that disco heartbeat, the final song rolls in like a summer afternoon you never forgot. Now we arrive at a song so casual, it feels like summer got caught on tape. In the Summertime by Mungo Jerry was released in 1970, hit #1 in the UK, and climbed to #3 in America. Written by Ray Dorset, it became one of the biggest summer hits ever made. But here is the wild part. Dorset said the words came together in about 10 minutes, inspired by warm weather, old holidays, and days when nobody wanted to go home. The recording kept that careless magic. It mixed skiffle, jug band energy, foot stomps, and a bottle blown like an instrument until it sounded like a street party happening by accident. It was simple, sunny, and almost impossible to hate. In the Summertime sold millions and became a song people still play when they want life to feel lighter. That is why it sits at the top of this list. Not because it tried to be deep, because it made joy sound easy. From the opera houses of London to the back porches where summer never ends, these 10 songs shaped a generation and changed music forever. Which one is your all-time favorite? Drop it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Do not miss it.